Hi and welcome. I'm Lydia Martin, your host for Eye on St. Lucie. It's back to school time, and in today's episode, we will explore the school lunch program. So welcome. Eye on St. Lucie provides an opportunity for insight into our programs and policies here in the district. And it's my pleasure to welcome our guest today, Deborah Wiest, who is the Director of Child Nutrition Services. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'd like to begin by asking you to tell us a little bit about your role here in the district.
Well, I currently oversee the entire Child Nutrition Services program, which includes planning for the breakfast and lunch and after-school snack programs. It also includes farm to school. It includes knowing what students, finding out who may be eligible for free and reduced lunch programs, and just making sure our most important role is to make sure that students are receiving a healthy breakfast and a healthy lunch every single day.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. Well, I'm just going to get straight to it. The number one question that I know I'm asked is, are the school lunches and breakfasts free again this year?
Well, the good news is that, yes, all students in St. Lucie Public Schools can eat breakfast for free and eat lunch for free. That means it costs no money, and that they are able to, they don't need to register. They are able to come through the line and get a full breakfast and a full lunch every single day, 5 days a week.
Okay, wonderful. So let's talk about breakfast specifically. You said there is no pre-registration, but what could a student expect to see as a breakfast meal?
Well, at some schools you may have breakfast in the classroom. At other schools you may be going through the serving line and getting breakfast. And that's the very first most important meal of the day. So it is so important to make sure that you come to the cafeteria to eat breakfast. And within breakfast, we offer wonderful items such as whole grain cereals, whole grain toast, graham crackers. We might have an apple streusel. At the high school levels, we offer eggs and cheese and biscuits. And also we offer fresh fruit, chilled fruit, juice, low-fat milk, and fat-free milk. So those are just some of the items that the students will see on our serving lines at breakfast time. The most important thing with that is that in order for the meal to be free or at no cost, the student needs to take the entire meal. So that could be 3 out of 4 items at breakfast, so which I just mentioned about the grain, the fruit, the juice, and the milk. Those would be 3 examples of what might be on a tray.
So really, there wouldn't be any reason for a student to not go to the cafeteria or wherever they're serving breakfast to get a breakfast. It's free. It's a great way to start the day.
Absolutely, and it saves parents time and money. They don't have to worry about feeding their kids first thing in the morning. They can get them dressed and out the door, or if they're on the bus, they can go automatically right to the cafeteria and receive a free breakfast. So, and it's so important because that starts the day. That starts the cognitive thinking that students have. So, and studies show that students who do eat breakfast perform at a higher level.
Wonderful. And we know we do live in a community where there is a need. There's some food insecure individuals. So this is just a great way, like you said, to start the day.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about lunch. What can students expect to see on their lunch tray this year?
Well, you know, it's a whole new thing. We have all of our students coming back. So we have revised our menus. Our menus are approved by USDA. So that means that basically they meet any of the calorie contents that students must have, the fat content, the protein content. So students are going to see homemade items. We do 80% of our items are made from scratch. We have bakers in every single kitchen, so the whole grain roll that you see on your tray, that was made from scratch. The macaroni and cheese is made from scratch. We might have spaghetti with meat sauce. There's a big, the students love to see the casseroles, But we also have our chicken sandwiches, our cheeseburgers, and the pizza is made from scratch. So we take great pride in everything that it's like cooking at home. So they're getting a home-cooked meal at school. In addition to the main entree, they definitely still are offered the fruit and the vegetables, and there are a variety of hot vegetables such as steamed broccoli. There's going to be cold vegetables offered every single day, a garden salad offered every single day. And then you also have your fresh fruit, your chilled fruit, your juice, and your low-fat milks offered. And just like breakfast, they have to take 3 out of 4 items at breakfast. At lunchtime, in order for the meal to be free, they have to take 3 to 4 to 5 items on their tray. And one of them has to be a fruit or a vegetable. Okay. And that's so important because we want them to get those great vitamins that the fruits and vegetables offer.
Wonderful. Do you find that students have favorites that they wait for a certain menu item to rotate back around?
Oh, absolutely. One of the items I didn't mention is they love the tangerine chicken and rice. You know, they tend to gear towards some of the Asian, the Mexican style recipes. Wow. Or the menu offerings. But you do have the students who just love that chicken sandwich. So, and we don't offer it at the elementary every single day. So they really look forward, okay, Thursday's chicken sandwich day, so I'm going to eat lunch then. So, but we want you to eat every day because that's the time where the meal really re-energizes you for the afternoon because about, between 11 and 12, you're I'm getting hungry. And, we don't want that hunger to continue. So it's so important to eat lunch. And then that way you are re-energized to learn in the afternoon because you're going to be at school for another couple of hours. So you need to make sure you eat that lunch.
Absolutely. We want our students engaged and active in their learning. And this is certainly one way that they can do it. And once again, it's free.
Yay!
There's no reason not to participate. I do know there's some students that like to bring their own lunch, though. So if they do bring their own lunch, are there items available for them to purchase or to get from the school cafeteria as well?
Yes. One of the things we started last year was the Lunchbox Buddies and the Bonus Bites. And we're hoping to be able to continue that if USDA approves that for us to do that. The students who bring a lunchbox can get a fresh fruit, a juice, a milk, or 3, maybe a graham cracker, a juice, and a milk for free. So that's one way. Okay. However, we do have a la carte. And a la carte does cost money. So the a la carte items, maybe you want that extra sandwich. You're at that age level where you're getting more hungry. Those middle school students, they start to eat 2 sandwiches instead of 1 sandwich, or an extra helping. Maybe you want some chips, or you might want some baked Doritos, or we offer Gatorade at the high school, fresh baked cookies. Those all cost money. That's in addition to the meal that you receive at no cost. So we will have all of our updated prices located on our website. So it's so important to make sure that students have money on their account. So even though the meals are for free, the student has a lunch account and they need to know that PIN number, that lunch number, so that they can put money on the account. And that way, when they buy a la carte items, they have to know their PIN number, and we just take the money right off the account. They can also pay in cash as well.
Okay. Is there a way for parents to add money from their home to their lunch account, or
Yes.
does the student need to bring in money to the school?
The parents can do it at home. Okay. All of our schools are part of Family Access. And parents need to sign up through Family Access in order to put money on a student's account. They have to have their own login. The parent has to have their own login and password in order they can pay by credit card or I believe a bank account number where they can just add money as much as money as they want as often as they want. That way you don't have to write that check and send the check with the student to the school, or give the child cash. So it's all done in your home, and it makes it really easy. And then all the student needs to do is type in that PIN number, and the money is there.
Perfect. And that's just so our families know, that's the same place they go to look at their child's grades or
Yes.
their health record or
Yes.
clinic visits. That's the Skyward
same
parent account.
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yes.
Wonderful. I think something that's really interesting that maybe that a lot of our families don't know about is just the quantity of meals that you serve or that are served in our schools. So talk a little bit about that. How many meals are being served, and what does that equate with local restaurants in the area?
Well, great question. In St. Lucie County, when you think about the number of lunches that we offer, we serve almost 35,000 meals a day. Now, that would include breakfast and lunch together, but we do about 28,000 of that in lunch within a time period of 10 to maybe 2 o'clock. There is no other restaurant in St. Lucie County that serves that many students, that many customers within that length of time. And to be able to say that 80% of our food is made from scratch, it's wholesome, it's approved by USDA, it's approved by the dietitians that are within our district. So you know that it's well balanced and it was made with a passion for the students.
Wonderful. So you mentioned fresh fruits and vegetables. Talk a little bit about the farm. Is it Farm to School is the name of the program?
Yeah, Farm to School. We receive grants through USDA where we have a Farm to School program. And part of that is where from October to May, all of the vegetables that are offered through our, fresh vegetables that are offered through our serving line were grown in the state of Florida. So they were by local growers or somewhere within the state of Florida. And it is on the child's plate within 48 hours of harvest. So it's the freshest that at the peak of the nutrition and the vitamins that it offers. And in addition to that, what we're starting this year, we just received a grant from USDA to do gardens in our schools. So what we're going to be doing is we're selecting some schools to have gardens, and the students will participate and have a curriculum to know where the food comes from. We might be doing, for an example, at Village Green last year, or the year before, I apologize, we did purple sweet potatoes. So, and what we do is we harvest those and we put it on the lunch line. So whatever we grow in the gardens will end up on the lunch line for the students. And then they learn where it came from, how was it harvested. They can do math, they can write stories with all of the gardens that we are putting in. So we're very excited about this new program that we're starting.
I know in the past we've seen some of these fruits and vegetables end up on the serving line, and I think one of the things that's really exciting is that students that are participating in the process of growing it are more likely to actually want to try a new type of fruit or vegetable.
Absolutely, especially when the student is taking care of that vegetable or fruit that's in the garden, and then they have to come into the kitchen and they learn that we have to clean it, we may have to peel it. And they participate in all of that. And then we'll cook it 3 different ways, or we'll offer it maybe fresh, and maybe we might slice it real thin. For example, the sweet potatoes, slice it real thin, make chips out of it, bake chips out of it. Or we might make sweet potato casserole. Mm-hmm. So, then they see the different ways that fresh vegetable came from the garden and on our plates.
That's wonderful. Now, you had previously mentioned the importance of students knowing their PIN number. Mm-hmm. What are some other things that are important for students and families to remember as we're gearing up to head back to school?
Well, once again, knowing that lunch number is really, really important because they're going to need to know that if, especially high school students will have to put in their lunch number no matter what. Because high schools tend to purchase more a la carte, so we're just going to automatically have them put their lunch numbers in. The other thing is also as a reminder, you need to make sure that you take that fruit or vegetable or 3 out of 5 components at lunchtime. And And your a la carte items are extra. So you need to make sure that you bring money or put money on the account if you want extra items outside the regular free meal. And the best thing is that parents can put money on the account. So that's really important. Then that way they don't have to write those checks. So those are just a few reminders, things to remember. That's about it.
Okay. So even though students are eligible to receive free breakfast and lunch this year, we still want families to fill out the school benefit application. So talk a little bit about what that is and why that's important for them to still fill out.
Okay. The school benefit application is an application that helps schools determine the type of funding that they will receive, the amount of maybe teachers' positions, the amount of money each school is funded. So it's really important. Not only historically does it approve you for free meals or reduced meals, it also determines the amount of funding that each school gets. So it's still required every single year for families to complete that one household school benefit application every single year, because we still have to go through that regular process. Because we're in a pandemic, coming out of a pandemic year, the meals were free this year, but they still require that school benefit application to be completed. So that's very important that that gets done right away.
So that's something that we're really asking our families to take the few extra minutes it will take to fill that out. And we do have plenty of assistance available if there's any help that's needed. Because it is, as we always say, it's more than a meal application. We know that the breakfast and lunch will be free. However, the funding that comes from these completed applications spills over into different aspects of the school. You
Absolutely.
mentioned positions. It could also help with waivers for SAT testing.
Absolutely.
It could help with just funding from other federal sources.
Federal sources, absolutely. And in addition, it helps with the cable bill. I believe that you receive free cable if you're approved for free or reduced price meals. And then also different types of programs within the community, such as Boys and Girls Clubs and things like that. So there's multiple reasons why it's so important to complete that school benefit program, the school benefit application, because like you said, SATs are waived, different items are waived just because you have completed that application.
Right, so a family may be accessing a community program or another type of service in the community, and that may be something that that agency asks them about. What is their free or reduced lunch status? And if they're able to show that information, it could help with something being provided to them for free or a reduced cost.
Right.
So it really extends beyond just the school.
Absolutely. That's a very important thing to complete.
And where do parents find that application?
The application is very easy to find. It is on our main web page at www.stlucieschools.org. There is an orange button, which I believe it might be changing the color, but there is a button that says right on the home page, School Benefit Application. Click that. It will direct you directly to the application itself, and then just follow the instructions.
Okay, wonderful. Now, we know that we've had to make a lot of adjustments last year with COVID, but talk a little bit about what are those COVID safety protocols that your staff has followed last year and will continue to follow this year when they are preparing the food?
Great question. Last year, we implemented making sure that we're sanitizing more often than we have historically. So one of the things we do ongoing training with making sure that we're washing our hands, and that is a number one reason to prevent any types of bacteria spread or germs spreading around the kitchen. So we make sure that we sanitize our serving lines before and after each class. We have sanitizer in the kitchen or within the serving line that students can sanitize their hands before they go down the serving line. We will still be serving the students the hot choices. However, they will be able to pick up the cold choices that are pre-wrapped. That way that they can still select their own fruits and vegetables and juice and milk. But it's so important. We've implemented these standards of making sure that we're still 6 feet apart and making sure that we're sanitizing more often than we have in the past, which was a pretty high level.
Right. What are some important things for students to remember as they are entering the cafeteria or getting their food or eating their lunch?
Great question. The students, when they come in, they need to make sure that they have sanitized their hands and keeping your hands to yourselves and making sure that you're maintaining that 3 to 6 feet apart because it's so important. We want to make sure that we're in our own space and that they keep their hands and ask politely for what they want for their tray and move efficiently and pay attention as they go down the serving line because we need to get you through quickly so you can have an optimate time of eating. So we don't want to waste any time in the serving line. So we want to get you to your table. So once you get to your table, you sit at your table, you eat your food. And those are just the top things that I can think of for right now. But I know that we'll have many more that students can follow as they go into the schools and principals and teachers have their protocols that they will follow.
Right, and one of the things I know that the schools will be stressing, just like they always do, is we want to make sure students aren't sharing their food or their utensils.
Exactly.
Even not being in the midst of COVID, that's still always been an important
it's a good practice.
thing. Good practice when we're eating in the cafeteria. I know one of the things that we've already talked about are some of those menu items. Can you share a little bit more about some of the exciting menu options that students will see this year?
Well, at our high school level, we are bringing back the food court and create your own. So we're very excited about that, where students earlier in this conversation, we talked about students really gravitating towards the Asian and Mexican style entrees. So at the high school level, we are going to be offering different stations where they may have an Asian station, a Hispanic or Mexican station, an all-American, that comfort food. So we're offering that. It's a whole new setup for high school, so we're implementing that. At the elementary level, we're going to continue. We've added some more homemade items, and we're making homemade quick breads, and we're going to have a yogurt of the month, different types of yogurt parfaits. So we're really excited. We've been working really hard on our menus to hopefully entice the students, and hopefully they'll enjoy them.
I know one of the things that you've mentioned before in previous conversations is kind of your mantra, which is serve. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about what serve stands for?
Oh, I love our mantra, serve. Serve is so important to us because we believe in child nutrition that when we set the bar high, we're achieving everything that we possibly can achieve. And then the E is everyone, every time. So every customer and every child is so important as they come through the serving line. And we're all about building relationships. So we want to make sure we're building relationships with our customers, with our coworkers. And V is our values driven, because everybody has their own values. So we have to respect that. And then E, if we're doing all of the other ones, the E is an exceptional experience. It's so important that we follow all of those steps, and then the exceptional experience will happen for our customer. So we truly believe in this, and we represent that as students and our customers come through our serving lines, and making sure that everything is top quality and our service is number one.
Wonderful. I know that's something you guys really pride yourself on, is the home cooked meals. A lot of the items, like you said, 80% are made from scratch, and just your commitment to serving our students
It's
and
so
the
important.
employees.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes. It's a pleasure serving all of the students, and we look forward to seeing them through our serving line every single day.
It's great. We're going to wrap up in just a couple of minutes, but before we do, I just want to give you an opportunity to share with our families about the catering services that you have available in your Child Nutrition Services Department.
Yes,
and I know a lot of people don't even know about that.
Yes, we do have a catering department that we offer to all of our schools and the community. We've done weddings, we did an event in Fort Pierce. We've done many things for the Chamber of Commerce and for principals throughout the school district. It's amazing. Night of the Stars, we've done Night of the Stars. We have serviced up to probably around 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. So it's something that we do very, very well, and it's economical, and it keep us as a reminder, as an option if you need catering services, because we're number one.
And I can personally say that the food that I've had through your catering services department has been exceptional.
It is.
Just the way that the food is displayed and served, I mean, it really is a top-notch operation.
Yes.
So that's very interesting. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that you want our families to know as we're heading back to school?
Just as a reminder, one of the things I could say is if you have a new one coming into the county, a kindergartner or a brand new student into our schools, take the opportunity to go out to the website and look at our menus. It's so important that you review the menu with your child. Then that way, especially if they're young, then you can teach them to make healthy decisions and healthy choices, because it can be a little overwhelming once the young ones start to come in through the serving line. So if you take that opportunity to review the menu with them, then they're going to feel more at ease when they come through the serving line.
I'm glad you mentioned about the younger students. I know it's a challenge at the schools, especially for the first couple of weeks, especially for our little kindergarten students or even pre-K students. As far as opening the milk containers or accessing their juice, are there things parents can do at home to prepare their young students so that they can freely get their food and access their milk at school?
Yes. Have them, sometimes you can go and get small cartons of milk or cartons of juice. If you practice with them opening that milk carton up, then that's something that they're going to have to do every single day when they eat their breakfast and lunch. The juice is a pouch. Okay. So if you've ever had those Capri Suns, and practice with the Capri Suns. So those are little things that will help the student when they get into school and they have to start opening up some of their own items.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. You shared a ton of great information, and I know that our families are really excited to send their students back to school, and I know our students are excited as well. So thank you so much for joining us.
We are excited as well. Thank you so much.
I'm Lydia Martin, and this is WLX-TV. On behalf of the station's team, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. That's all for this show, but we invite you to follow us, like us, and watch us on our social media outlets. And as always, keep your eye on St. Lucie.